That, oh God, bloody sorry guys, whoa. I can never turn the dial down then. You're listening to Manigan's Movie Music live on Love the Beat Radio. That was Chisfos, I can't pronounce the guy's name. It was the Sleeping Beauty Waltz from the composer, that guy, you know who it is. Look, I'm not very good at pronouncing names. And do you know what? I had a really busy day yesterday, so if I sound a bit slurred or shattered, do not judge me today, okay? It's a very busy lifestyle. Anyway, you're listening to Manigan's Movie Music live on Love the Beat Radio with me, of course, Reese Manigan. I hope you guys are well and good and you're kicking off your Friday morning tuning in today. Right, before we talk about today's show, I have to talk about last week. Right, can I just say to everybody who probably tuned in, I don't know if you're still listening today, but to everybody who tuned in last week, can I just say a massive, huge, gigantic, whopping big thank you to everybody who did, because last week became my most tuned in show ever. Nearly 300 listeners tuned in last week to listen to, of course, Wallace voice actor Ben Whitehead, who came on the show last week, who was, of course, my biggest guest I've ever had on the show. And can I just say, it was just incredible. I'm really glad you guys enjoyed it. The video is on YouTube for those who haven't seen it, but those who have seen it, they've sent me the messages. The feedback and everything has been so incredibly positive and lovely, and the support has been amazing. So just thank you so much, guys. It meant so much to me. It really did. And it meant so much that Ben was here and, you know, he did the show, and it was just incredible. And I'm still processing it, to be honest, because I can't believe that I had one of the actors who was in one of my favorite cartoons of all time on the show live with me, sitting with me in the studio. And we were talking together about not just, of course, Wallace and Gromit, but horror movies and films in general and voice impressions and stuff like that. And it was amazing. I just had so much fun, and it came out so much better than I thought. So to those who sent me your support and messages and tuned in and everything, thank you so much. Honestly, I cannot believe the impact it had on that, and I'm really glad. And hopefully this is the start of maybe more potential celebrity guests in the future. Who knows? So touch wood on that side, but you know, let's just say my confidence has boosted up in terms of emailing some agencies, and you know, who knows, maybe we might get somebody else. We'll leave that door open for now. But today I do have another guest, not as massive as Ben Whitehead, but she is here and she's an incredible actor, and I'm really honoured she's here today. And in fact, we've been planning this meet up for a little while, and now it's finally come, and it's what a perfect day to start. New month, new start. You're joining on a radio show. But I'm really honoured to have her here today, and I always appreciate that she's come to the studio. Please welcome the very lovely Jennifer.
Hi, thank you so much for inviting me as well.
That's absolutely fine. I'm glad that you wanted to come on, and I'm glad you came into the studio.
Me too.
Amazing. So, Jen, obviously you're London-based as well. Oh, sorry, my microphone just slipped then. You're London-based as well, so we're practically neighbours, as we just mentioned, which is a bit of a crazy coincidence, but there you go. So, first of all, how are you today?
I'm very good. I'm so happy that it's sunny. And I'm a bit tired, but I am here willing to talk to you for as long as you want.
Well, we've only got till 12, but yeah, that's fine. I know. I wish this show was longer and everything, but you know, but anyway, it's fine. I'm sure maybe one day, if you enjoy today's show, you're always welcome to come back. So absolutely, the door, of course, is always welcome to the best guests. The door is always open. So let's see how you get through today, because you did say to me today this is your first sort of radio interview.
Yeah, first one. No pressure.
I can see the nerves on you already. You're a little bit like, oh, you know, at the moment. But honestly, it's fine. Honestly, it's just a very relaxed, chilled show. It's just talking, and honestly, it's about talking about what you do and what I love, what the show's all about. I mean, I'll mention it now, even to those who probably haven't never tuned in before. The show is all about supporting each other and helping each other out in this industry. Yeah, and also, you know, like, it doesn't matter what filmmaker you are or what actor you are or where your ranks are or anything like that. What it matters is that we're all human beings. We all need to stick together in this very horrible, crazy world that we do live in, where, you know, people nowadays get so grumpy compared to last week, as I mentioned. What was wrong with everyone last week? And honestly, like, you know, it's just basically, you know, we want a happy environment, you know, and we want it all to be nice and peaceful and relaxed and chilled. And, you know, let's just enjoy what we, enjoy each other's company. That's what it's all about, isn't it? You know what I mean? So yeah, and that's what it's all about. It's all about supporting each other. Anyway, Jen, you are an actress, and I gotta ask, how long have you been wanting to do acting, or how long have you been doing acting for?
I think I realized that I wanted to be an actress when I was like 7, in like a school play, where I got to play different characters, and like I just remember the excitement of me like having to change the costumes and the reaction of the audience, and when they were laughing, how it felt to me.
Yeah.
And I remember, oh, this is really cool. And because thankfully I was raised in a family where I was like able to do whatever I wanted. I was like, oh, so I just kept going through it. And I also loved singing and performing. I was a bit of a drama queen, apparently.
Literally, because you're doing drama.
Yeah. So it just felt quite natural to me. I also loved art, like anything related to art. It was something that I felt like naturally drawn to, and then I sort of carried on through that into college, where I did musical theater and performance back in Spain, and then I just decided to come here and give it a try here. Let's see, because I was also raised in Murcia, which is like a small city in Spain, to be honest.
Okay.
Unfortunately, not much art going on around there. A little bit more now, but I knew I had to move out. And also, I wanted to learn English. So
well, your English is absolutely perfect. I mean, I definitely understand you.
11 years.
And I've got to say, I love the accent as well. It's a lovely accent. So you really have. You speak English really well, but the accent is very good. So it's really no worries on that side there. So obviously you've come to London to pursue the acting side, and you said it's getting a bit better. So what have you done that's like the best experience so far at the moment since being in London with the acting?
Since being in London, I think, well, I feel like I started producing myself this year. And I went very big with my first ever project. It was a short film called Expats that is right now in post-production, and I co-wrote, produced, and acted as the lead, one of the lead characters. And I just felt very. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. To be honest, I'm just being quite blunt here.
It's fine.
But then as it moved along and having a good team that really supported me, I started to really enjoy the process and see how much work goes behind the scenes. And something that I would say is it was like an amazing experience, because I love collaborating with people. I am a people person. Like, I love talking to people on the street. Like, sometimes when I get lost, I just ask people for directions, or like even if I don't get lost, I just talk to people on the street randomly. That's why I also love traveling.
I'm lost and I'm bored. Can I just chat with you?
Yeah, I literally just.
Okay, I've got to stop. Sorry, honey, I've got to stop. There's a random woman chasing after me now.
Yeah, I am the creepy woman on the corner.
So those are the wanted signs. You look so familiar there. Yeah.
So yeah, I love talking to people. So for me, like, collaborating is like super fun. But something I always say, I think producing and acting on the same production is really challenging. But I still feel like that was one of my best experiences so far, because I learned so much and I've grown so much since then. It's like insane.
Okay, so because you mentioned the producing and the acting, so obviously you do behind and in front of camera work. So what do you kind of prefer doing, behind or in front of camera?
Oh no, 100% in front of the camera.
So definitely 100%. The acting side then.
I started producing just purely because I wanted to tell some stories that weren't out there, and also because I wanted to give it a try and meet people within the industry here in London. Obviously, as someone from a different country, sometimes it's harder to like step into the industry. So
tell
like,
me about it.
So like trying to like build a community, and I started producing scenes for free for people as well, just so that I could meet people and like practice myself as well. So definitely the acting bit is the the thing that drives me, and that is why I decided this year, as it got busier for me in my acting career, to like pause for now producing.
Ah, fair enough. So, yeah, so you want to focus more on the acting side than
Yes.
producing, but the producing will happen again, but sometime in the future.
Sometime in the future.
Amazing. That would be great, because to be honest, I don't know that many producers, so that's actually quite good on my side there. There you go. Okay, so in terms of like when you do the acting and everything, is there any genres that you've done that's been your favourite? So like, have you done romantic action or horror? Like, has there any been ones that have been like the highlight for you?
Yes, so I am very driven to comedy. Like, I love comedy. I would love my dream role would be like a series regular in a sitcom. It just making people laugh. Like, for me, comedy has a special place in my heart, because I grew up watching comedy. You know, it has helped me throughout my, you know, the hardships of life.
Yeah.
Like disconnect, and also like it's not just for having fun as well. Like, I feel like with comedy we can reach certain audiences that don't necessarily they're not ready to like to speak about big societal problems and things like that, but we can sort of like plant the seed with comedy. We can use comedy to just plant the seed, and then you go on and you think, oh wow, okay, that thing that happened there. You know, like we learn through it, and it's like an easy way to introduce these sort of like heavier things.
Yeah, because I know that comedy nowadays it lacked for a while. Because nowadays, as I said, we live in such a sensitive world now, and it's getting so stupid. Even like when I write comedy, it's like, oh, you can't joke about this. You can't say, but you can. It's comedy. I mean, thank goodness for Ricky Gervais and Seth MacFarlane, who say, look, if people get offended, who cares? Because do you know what was so interesting? I saw the new Naked Gun with Liam Neeson last year. And I tell you not, right, when I say we sat in that theatre watching that film, and they brought back some really like heavy comedy that they would never really get away with today, or people wouldn't like, the audience in the cinema was laughing their bottoms off. And I loved it, because I was like, I've never heard people laugh in the cinema for ages, because obviously nowadays comedy, as it said, lacked. But do you know what? That's why I'm so excited for Scary Movie 6, because they said they are not going to hold back. They are going to go out and I'm so excited, because I'm like, do you know what? Good. Bring that comedy back. It's what we need. It's what it lifts us up. And so, yeah, and with me, I mean, with last year, I wrote a bit of a controversial comedy called The Bucket. It was all because, as I said, I wrote a script and actor didn't like it. They got offended over something that wasn't even offensive, or they twisted it, or they didn't. I mean, look, I've got stories. I'll tell you off air one day, and it's really bad. But it got to a point where they were just literally nitpicking, and they were like, "You can't joke about this. Oh, I'm not doing this. This is offensive." And I'm like, it got to a point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. So I literally scrapped their point of view, and I just wrote a script called The Bucket. And it has a very funny, dark plot. And it does have jokes in it, which I don't care. I wrote wherever I wanted. But the smart people who have a sense of humour wanted to do it. We done it. I showed off the film, and they all loved it. And someone come up to me and said, "You are so brave to make this film, because this would never get off there." I said, I know, that's why I did it. But he said, you know what? Well done for bringing that comedy back. I said, thank you. And I got praise for it, because I just put my foot down and said, look, I'm not saying it's wrong for people to get offended or upset, but there's a difference to what they're offended. And it's like what Ricky Gervais says, just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right. And that's what I say.
Yeah, and comedy, it really depends on which country, you know, comedy, humor is very different from which country you're in. And just a person, it's like a thing that is very personal. So something that makes you laugh is not going to make other people laugh.
It's
but
true.
You always find your audience, you always find your people.
Yeah. And also there's professional ways of actors to turn down a role if they don't like it. They could just say, look, you know, this isn't for me, but thank you. But instead they have to get political. Wow. And it's like, you're making out like I'm this psychopath when it's just a script, and there's nothing in the script that's actually I mean, trust me, if they wanted me to go bad, I could go bad, but I won't. I wrote something that was so normal, and they would twist it and be like, and I was like, and it made me laugh, really. It got to a point where I was just laughing and like, oh, really? And I would show my friends the messages, and even they'd be like, what's wrong with that? It's just insane. But that's why now I'm like, right, look, here's my script. You don't like it, just tell me it's not for you. And some people have still done that, but then again, there were some people that will still, and I'll just go, right, you're blocked. I'm definitely not going to work with you in the future. And okay, you're okay because you said it professionally, so maybe you're pending. So it depends, you know. But I just don't like getting abuse from people. But you know, there's ways of saying, you know, because they say they get offended, but then they give you abuse because they have to give out, and it's like, don't insult me. I just gave you a script. All you could have said was, you don't want to do it. That's all you have to tell me. Do you know what I mean? And then it's like, you know, it's like with protesters, like, because I work in a coffee shop, right? We get protesters and they come out and they're trying to give out, we're doing our rights to speak. And then they'll come in the coffee shop and then they'll have a go at us because they don't like a certain coffee. And it's like, whoa, I thought you were supposed to be peaceful people and you're giving us abuse over coffee. Do you know what I mean? It's so strange when people are like, they want the world to be peaceful and relaxed, but they're the ones that are harassing the people. It's like, it's really strange, and it's like, who are these guys? You know, and it's really, that's the way the world is, and I completely understand. So when you now said about bringing back that comedy, I thought, finally. So can you high five me, please? Seriously, that's what we need more. That's what we need more, guys. So thank you. So Jen, you are definitely one of my people, absolutely. So thank you so much for that, absolutely, for the comedy style. Absolutely, that's what
I also
we
love
need.
other genres. Like, for example, I would love to play like a witch or like an action movie, like a you know, femme fatale, kind of like, you know, strong leading woman. And that's sort of also something I would love to do. Like not just comedy, but I feel like on an everyday basis, I think it would be like really fun to work on a set where it's like, we're making jokes other than crying our balls out, like, you know, like, oh. I mean,
it's very funny you say, because I actually have written a film about cavemen as a comedy, and it's about the first ever Easter egg hunt.
Okay.
And that's definitely a parody one of cave people, trust me. And I love the script. I do want to get it made, absolutely. Because that one, so when you mentioned witches, and I was like, I've done one about cavemen. I need to still make that one. So there you go. But yeah, so the ideas keep flowing there. Anyway, Jen, so back to your journey. You mentioned about comedy and action and everything like that. Is there a particular type of film, like movie, and you mentioned TV series because you said comedy, but in terms of like films or movies, like what could you want to go for in terms of like you know, your particular dream film, if that makes sense, and your dream cast or something like that? Like, what would it be?
That's a good question. I feel like I would love to do the lead in like an action movie. I think, as I just mentioned a minute ago, like, I think that would be really empowering and really fun to do, like the whole process, because again, if I do something, I really want to have fun through it. So
it's all about having fun, guys.
It's all about having fun. Yes. We're creating art, so we might as well just have fun while we do that.
Exactly. See again. High five me again. You are again saying how I want to do. Create the art.
Yes. So, but also like, don't get me wrong. I would love to do like a feature film where I can, you know, like where I have a complex, you know, female character that has gone through hardships, and that I can show the world something, and so that people, when they watch it, they feel them, you know, they relate to it and they grow and they learn from it. That's something as well that is in my bucket of things that I want to
Your bucket list.
Yeah, is, you know, it's I love having fun as well, but I also want to do meaningful stuff. So I guess my dream career will be like a mixture of both.
It's funny you say that, because that's exactly what I kind of do. I do really fun shorts, but at the same time with my film festival projects, I do stuff about me and stuff. So I do autism awareness films because I'm autistic myself. So I've done 2 for film. No, I've done 3 for film festivals, but 2 of them have made a massive impact. And so like those ones are the ones that I'm saying, right, these are the impact stories I want to tell. and they're made with great care and like music and actors and performance and everything. But the short films I do for YouTube, they're just fun ones. I go out with a camera with friends and say, right, we're going to do this today. We're going to play 2 cowboys or on a hunt to a coyote, and then I go off and do it. And that's what it's all about. You know, that's the creative art side. And again, it's a comedy.
And dramedy as well, like a bit of comedy and well, like life itself. That's a
yeah.
Expats is also a dramedy, so it's just I feel like that's the most realistic approach to film because it's the life itself, right?
Exactly,
some
I agree.
Are fun, some moments are not that fun.
Oh no, yeah, and that's what my autism awareness ones are. They are comedies, but they do have very powerful messages in. I mean, scripting. If you haven't watched it, I'm going to warn you now, it will make you cry. Because because there's a story behind it and everything. And when I screened that film to my test audience, they were all sobbing. And I remember telling around, and I actually went, that's exactly what I was like. I was like, yes, you're all crying.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
By creating something, you make him feel, everyone feels something.
Exactly. And that's the message I was trying to get out, yeah. They even cried when I was filming a certain scene, and they were going to me, "You've made me cry while filming it. How on earth are you going to pull this off on its screen?" I'm like, ha ha ha, you know. I'm like, wah, you know, and it worked because honestly, it was just such a beautiful moment. Okay, Jen, that's great. So, have you got any projects that are coming up at the moment? Anything you can tell me or not? It's fine if you can't.
Well, I am sort of like preparing for an action sort of role where it involves a bit of fighting.
Is it about a witch?
No, but I would love that.
Yeah.
If anyone wants
the action
for me
witch.
to play a witch, please message me on Instagram. But no, it's more like a sort of like an action
nice.
About frogs and blah blah.
Oh, okay.
And then I am moving I have 3 films that I shot, and I am trying to get them finished in post-production, and I'm gonna put them around film festivals. I made Expats, of course. I made 101, which is a micro short.
Nice.
About dementia.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Very powerful subject.
Yes. And then I also made Control Z, which is started with the mental health, and now we are gonna, after seeing the edit, we're gonna leave it open to interpretation of the audiences. So watch out for that. Okay,
awesome. Okay, well, it sounds very exciting and interesting. So I'll definitely have to try and keep an eye out for those. Right, Jen, so as you know, you are on Manigan's Movie Music. So this is what I mentioned to every guest. And now it's time for me to do the Manigan movie questions that I like to do. So the first question I've got to ask, of course, I like to ask every guest, what is your favourite film genre?
Comedy.
Okay, there you go. So now you mentioned that, any particular comedies, like is there a top 3 that stick to your mind?
I feel like I watch more sitcoms than comedy films, but something that really stood out for me, it's let me think. I mean, Ted. Classic.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but it's a classic.
It is a classic.
It's been a while.
I love Ted. I'm sure you watched Ted the series on Now TV as well.
No.
You've not watched the series yet. You need to watch the series because it's the prequel. It's about John when he's a kid, well, not a kid, a teenager, with Ted and high school and stuff.
Really?
And do you know what? And you say about the jokes, they do not hold back in Ted, the series. And do you know what? I love it. It's pure comedy gold. And by the way, guys, bit of movie update news. It's still #1 on Peacock for the past 6-7 weeks. It's still #1 most watched HBO show on Peacock.
Wow.
It's incredible. But then there you go. It shows people love that style of comedy, and that's what they want. So there you go. So well done, Seth. Well done. Bring it back, boy. So happy. So you definitely need to watch the prequel series. It is really good.
I'm gonna go home and do that after.
Oh, there you go. And I'll be messaging, did you watch him yet? You know. I'm still on episode 3. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ted's definitely one of, so that's on the list. Any other ones that come across your mind?
When I think about comedy, I can only think about shows like my favorites: The Office, Friends, Big Bang Theory.
So hang on, The Office, UK or US?
US.
Oh, US. Okay, that's fine.
It's
It's no, it's fine. I mean, I like both, but you know, the UK version holds a special place in my heart because it's Ricky Gervais. So come on, you know.
Of course.
I know, but I mean, fair enough. I mean, you must have watched Afterlife with Ricky Gervais on Netflix. I mean, that was really powerful, but that was also really funny. That inspired scripting actually. You know, about my worst fear, you know, which is of course losing my wife to a horrible illness and stuff like that. That was my inspiration. And I remember once when I was watching Afterlife and I finished it, I said to my wife, yeah, if anything happens to you, I'm going to turn into him. I'll be like him.
Just so you know.
Yeah, just so, yeah, I'll literally be going around walking my dog and someone will say, put him on the lead, and I'll say the insult. I'll be like, yeah, sorry, mate. I'll be like, that will be me. You know, but it was one of the inspirations, you know, and I loved it. But honestly, but I will say one of my favourite characters in Afterlife was the therapist. He cracked me up. And I remember saying, if he was my therapist, if there was a therapist like that in real life, he would actually cure my depression because he would make me laugh. I'd be like, you know, I can't wait to see my therapist because this guy makes me laugh. Honestly, if he was there and he was like that, I'd be gone. I'd be like laughing. I'd be like, this therapist is the best.
It's funny that you mentioned about this because I was reflecting the other day about how, you know, a lot of people don't go to therapy.
Yeah.
And I feel like they use art, they use film, TV, theater, all of these things to process their emotions.
Yes.
And to understand themselves better as a means of therapy. So at the end of the day, as actors and filmmakers, we're sort of
film is basically
we're sort of a bit of a therapist.
Yeah, I mean,
for other people.
I mean, with me, cinema is therapy. So sometimes if I've had a rough day, I will go to the cinema. If I've had a rough week, I'll go to cinema. And stuff like that. Cinema honestly really does help me out. It's so amazing. It really clears my mind. And I love to go, and I'm like, do you know what? I want to go see that movie, and I will go and check it out. And it's like, yes, you know. So it really does help.
It helps you process your emotions. It helps you reflect on yourself and your own actions. It helps you learning and growing and you know, wanting to be like that or wanting not to be like that.
Yeah, because I've always wanted to be Batman.
Yes, I know.
I'm Batman. Yes.
Oh my god. Have you watched Anna, the action movie? I always wanted to be her.
Yes. I have. Brilliant. Okay, right. I think we'll take a little break there for now and we will play some tracks because I know last week, me and Ben, we did the most chatting ever last week. We barely played any tracks. So I do apologise for that, guys. But that's because we just had too much to talk about, you know. It was too many questions, too many answers. So let's play another track to take a breather. And I'm going to play the other track from one of my... Oh, sorry. That was Am I Not Merciful from the movie Gladiator. And welcome to the second half of Manigan's Movie Music, live on Love the Beat Radio, with me, Reese Manigan, and my very special guest today,
Jennifer Castillo.
Yep, she's still here. She's still here. I'm very happy about that. Jen, can I just say, it's really lovely to have you on the show. You're a fantastic guest and it's very relaxing, the atmosphere today, so I appreciate that. How are you enjoying the show so far?
I'm enjoying it so far. I love the conversations that we're having on the show, but also outside of the show while the songs are playing.
Yes, we've been talking about a lot about scripts and stuff like that, so it's very exciting, which means maybe me and Jen might hopefully work together at some point, but who knows, touch wood. Anyway, so now we're going to jump into some movie news. Unfortunately, there wasn't a lot as much as I thought there was going to be, but that's fine because the one thing I do want to talk about, which I don't know why it's not even on here, but it's fine. Let's talk about it anyway. So you'll be happy to know they are going to be doing a Casper live action TV series for Disney Plus. Apparently Disney have now got the rights to Casper when it was originally for Universal. I don't know how that works, but then Disney seem to own everything nowadays, so that doesn't actually surprise me. So apparently they're going to do a Casper TV series, but this is the interesting part, what I read. Number one, Steven Spielberg is going to be executive producer, which is interesting because he was the executive producer of the feature live action film from 1995. I think that was out. God, I was 3 years old back then. So yeah, so Steven Spielberg is going to come back to be executive producer. Number 2, they're going to make it like the TV series Wednesday. The tone of it is going to be like Wednesday. So it's not really going to be exactly for children, but it will be enough for some younger viewers, but enough to entertain the adult viewers. Because of course Wednesday, I mean, I look at it and I don't see it at all as a kids TV series at all. I mean, it's so dark and it's gritty and it's very gothic, but that's Tim Burton for you. I mean, God, Tim Burton is an absolute genius. So it'd be very interesting to see Steven Spielberg now become sort of like the Tim Burton of Casper in a way. I mean, obviously they're both different filmmakers, but if they're going to try and do a Wednesday tone kind of film, that's going to be very interesting. And then it makes me think, because coincidentally, here's the link. Christina Ricci, who was Wednesday in the very first Wednesday Addams feature film, was also the girl in live action Casper. She was in Casper, and now they're trying to link Casper to Wednesday. So it's kind of weird how they're doing the Wednesday film where Christina Ricci originally played in the feature films. Then she was also in Casper, and they're trying to make Casper like Wednesday. There's a weird link there. Addams Family, Casper, Steven Spielberg, Tim Burton. It's kind of weird, but it's interesting. But I mean, look, maybe they'll pull it off. I don't know, but the problem is Wednesday's really, really good. Wednesday's very unique on its own. So to try and copy and trace that idea, it's going to be very difficult, especially with Casper, because I don't know how the storylines or the plot's going to work around that. Maybe they'll do a prequel about an origin side of it, because I know with Wednesday, they kind of just sort of rebooted and said, right, Wednesday went to school, she put piranhas in the swimming pool, she's kicked out, and now she's gone to this gothic Harry Potter style school, which in a way, Wednesday does remind me a little bit of Harry Potter. There are some very Harry Potter vibes to it, but saying that, I do think Wednesday is a little bit better than Harry Potter in myself, because I do like the grittiness of Wednesday. Like, I love darker stuff. So when I look at Wednesday and Harry Potter, I'm like, nah, Wednesday 100% because it's darker. And also Wednesday is a lot more funnier. I love the characters in Wednesday. Most of them are so likable. They're intriguing, they're interesting, and the cast is incredible. I mean, season 2, they had Steve Buscemi. They had, oh God, there's so much to list from. I will have to go back and look at the list, but Steve Buscemi was definitely one of them, and I love Steve Buscemi.
It's funny that you mentioned Wednesday. I am an acting coach as well, and I was training one of my students, and she was auditioning for Wednesday. Actually, I was preparing her for one of her auditions for Wednesday.
And do you know which character she was auditioning for?
I'm not sure. I don't remember because they were using code names.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. They don't want to mention the names. Fair enough. But can you imagine if it was Wednesday herself?
No, it wasn't.
No.
One of the later seasons.
Yeah, I know about that. But speaking of like the Wednesday, they're saying that they are filming season 3 right now. They're filming in Paris, believe it or not. There was a first look photo of Tim and Jenna Ortega, and they had a picture of Jenna Ortega and the actress who plays her best friend. I think it was Emma something, isn't it? There was a picture of them together, dressed in their characters and stuff. So, and the fact that it's going to be set in Paris is going to be very interesting, because I think they do film the Wednesday series in the UK. I think they do. I'm trying to remember if they actually do or not. I mean, maybe, possibly. I mean, I did remember reading somewhere they filmed somewhere in London. I'm sure they did. Either that or I probably read it wrong, but I swear there was some shots in London. Anyway, wherever it's filmed, they're going to Paris. So it's going to be very interesting, because remember how, well, actually, I don't think I should say how season 2 ended in case people haven't watched it, but they definitely left the opening. And of course, I'm so happy to say that Uncle Fester, though, he's definitely back in it, because he was so brilliant in season 2. His character going into was it the retirement home or the prison, and he ends up like causing chaos in there. I love that guy, and I really hope there's more of him in season 3. Although saying that, they are going to do a spin-off with Uncle Fester. Oh. They are working on a spin-off. So there you go. He's going to have more screen time, guys. So happy about that. So yeah. So anyway, back to the Casper live action. I'll be very intrigued with this. So the question is as well, because obviously Wednesday has such a really good cast, I wonder who they'll have for the Casper series. Now, obviously, they might have a new actor to play Casper, because obviously Casper is a young boy, isn't he? So they might have a new actor, or they could have an actor who's already done some little things already to Pooh stuff. I mean, I tell you what, the cast of the recent series, The Lord of the Flies, there's an opening there, definitely. One of the kids should definitely play Casper in that one, because the kids in Lord of the Flies were so good. And I couldn't believe, like, the performances from those boys were so incredible. I actually hope they get nominated for their roles in Lord of the Flies. If you haven't seen Lord of the Flies, check it out on BBC iPlayer. But warning, the last 2 episodes are quite hard to watch. They're very, I mean, Lord of the Flies does not hold back on its violence, and that's what I'm going to say. It's quite shocking, but very, very good story. Have you heard of Lord of the Flies?
No.
Okay, well, if you do watch it, just beware of the last 2 episodes, definitely. So I love that she's doing this imaginary writing on a notepad. Lord of the Flies. Okay, right. So that's the update of the Casper series. Right, here's an interesting bit of news. Some people have really had opinions about this. So apparently they are planning to do a movie with Django and Zorro as a crossover. Now, Zorro, who starred Antino Banderas, I think back in, God, was it late 90s, early 2000s that he done that film? And Django, which of course came back in 2012, which was directed by, of course, Quentin Tarantino. Apparently, Quentin Tarantino has given them his blessing to make this crossover. But a lot of people are saying, were they really set in the same times? Was it same era? I don't know. But apparently, yeah, they are planning to do a crossover with Zorro and Django. Gerard Carmichael has signed on to write the film. I don't know what he has written. It doesn't say on here, but apparently they're trying to, in talks of Antino Banderas maybe coming back to play Zorro, which will be quite interesting. Let's hope he's still young enough to play the role. I mean, I'm not being funny. He's kind of getting on a bit now. I mean, the guy must be about 70 by now, surely. I mean, I can't just imagine him going, I'm Zorro, oh, my back. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I mean, fair enough. If he can still do it, then go for it. But I can see a lot of stuntmen doing his action scenes. I mean, luckily he's got a mask on, so they won't tell the difference, you know. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, he could do the dramatic dialogue scenes, but I can't really see him do much of the action scenes, because come on, he's not as long as he used to be. I'm just saying, like, he is getting on, bless him. I mean, maybe stick to the voice acting, stick to Puss in Boots, you know, because he is Puss in Boots, so maybe stick to the voice acting, you know, who knows. But if he can still do it, then great, but who knows. But yeah, at the moment they're saying that they are in talks to talk to Jamie Foxx and Banderas to come back and play the roles, although who knows, maybe they'll do a reboot movie with different actors, maybe, who knows. But that's what they're saying. But I'm trying to find out who the guys were. So Gerard Carmichael, the name rings a bell, but I don't know what he's written. We'll have to try and look into that. But if he's a really good scriptwriter, then I'm sure that the movie's not going to go down without a storm. But at the same time, we just don't know. I don't want to get my hopes up, because there are sometimes I'm like, oh, there's a good writer, good director, and the movie might come out disappointing. We don't know. Let's not get our hopes up. But yeah, it has a lot of opinions on this, though. Django and Zorro crossover. Will it happen? Is it going to come out great? Who knows? It's very interesting to see. But I didn't even know that they were in the same era or around the same times. It's going to be very interesting. But I've got to say, I'm not really a huge Zorro fan. I didn't really watch it much as a kid. But Django, I love. It's a great movie. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's
I was going to say, I don't know what Django is, but I know, obviously, Zorro, because I'm Spanish.
Yeah, Django, it came out in 2012. It's about a slave whose wife gets taken by slave traders. And so he breaks out and goes on a mission to save his wife. And obviously it's Quentin Tarantino, so obviously it's very controversial for many reasons, which I can't divulge live on air. But I'm sure for the millions of people who have watched it, they'll know. But do you know, there's one scene I'm going to tell you which was so brilliant, because this shows how Leonardo DiCaprio, of much of a fantastic actor he is. So he plays the villain in the movie. And there's a scene where he actually cut his hand in the film. He's
I've
still
seen
acting.
that video online.
Smashed his hand on the glass.
Of him talking about that scene and, you know, reflecting on how, like...
Yeah. And apparently he had to have stitches. But what was amazing was he carried on acting. And
oh my God, that's the film.
That's the film. That's Django. And there's a reaction shot with Jamie Foxx. You can see his reaction. He's literally like that watching the scene. And apparently Quentin was, when he was filming, he was kind of constantly going like looking like is he actually bleeding? And like he had the camera and he was like but they kept rolling because he carried on.
Of course,
and
if they stopped rolling, it would have been like, what is that?
Oh, but that just shows what incredible actor Leonardo is. And apparently he was having difficulty because he had to say a certain word in the film. And Samuel L. Jackson was saying, "Oh, come on, just say it. It's just another Tuesday." Yeah, because Samuel L. Jackson, he doesn't care. He's a great. I mean, God, if Samuel L. Jackson tells you to say what you want, you do not turn it down. This is Samuel L. Jackson, because poor Leonardo was very uncomfortable at first with the role, but Samuel L. Jackson just said, "Oh, come on, it's another Tuesday, just do it." so he, was like, "Yeah, okay," and he did. And it became one of his most incredible performances, and it is incredible. I mean, Django is a great film. I mean, yes, it does have controversy, and I understand why. But then at the end of the day, it's actually quite a fun film as well. There are some really big fun moments in it that you just kind of watch and like, whoa, because Quentin Tarantino does that. I mean, I love Quentin Tarantino as a filmmaker, but God, as a person, I cannot stand him because I'm sure you probably read that he insulted a lot of people lately in Hollywood. Some very good people, actually, especially Matthew Lillard, who was in the Scream films. Apparently, he said he's a very terrible actor, which I cannot believe he would say that because Matthew Lillard is a legend. I mean, the Scream films, Scooby-Doo, and stuff like that. He's a great guy, and when that reaction happened, people literally hit back at Quentin saying, "Well, you're probably just jealous because you probably don't want to, he probably turned your role down or something and you're just jealous." And that's what they were saying. And Matthew Lillard, who's such an incredible guy, actually said it was like he was watching his funeral tributes because people were sending him lovely messages. And he said he felt very loved by the people that were sending him all this positive feedback, because even I was like, "Quentin, what the hell is wrong with you? Why would you insult such an incredible actor?" And people were making all these jokes going, "Well, maybe Matthew's too good for Quentin Tarantino films, and maybe Quentin could afford it and stuff like that." And I loved it. And that just shows, and that's what I'm saying. As a filmmaker, Quentin's great, but as a person, I'm just like, oh man, you really need to settle down. You're not the best director out there. There are better directors than you. I mean, God, Christopher Nolan. I mean, he's got a new film coming out, The Odyssey, which I'm super excited to see. Comes out in the IMAX, which I'm aiming to go for. I mean, you've got to see a Christopher Nolan film in the IMAX. I mean, Oppenheimer and Interstellar. I mean, those movies, big screen experiences. Dunkirk, that was another one. I mean, there you go. So, what can I say? What can I say? Just because a guy makes great art doesn't make him a great person, okay? That's all we know. So, yeah. So, whatever, Quentin. You can insult every person in Hollywood, but we don't have to agree with you. We'll agree to disagree. Anyway, I think at the moment, that is so far some of the movie news we've got here. But there is some movie news I do want to bring up as well. So, you'll be happy to know that lately, there's some exciting horror films coming out soon. There's Obsession and Backrooms and Hokum. Now, these three horror films are my most anticipated, by the way. I'm very excited about seeing these ones. I've heard nothing but good stuff with Hokum, which I'm actually seeing. When am I seeing that one? Oh, in 2 days. Seeing that one in 2 days. And then I'm going to go see Mother Mary, which stars Anne Hathaway, which, by the way, she's really doing well this year. She's done Devil Wears Prada 2, which I will not see. I haven't even watched the first one, I will admit. I haven't even seen the first film. I'm not a Devil Wears Prada fan, and I don't think it's my sort of movie, so I'm sorry. But if you guys want to go and watch it, that's fine. Yeah, Anne Hathaway, so she's Devil Wears Prada 2. She's doing Mother Mary. She's doing another horror film called The End of Oak Street. And she's now doing another thriller with Dakota Johnson coming. So she's really coming out with, she's in everything this year. And it's really amazing. And what I love is that she's really flipping the genres this year. She's in thrillers, she's in horror, she's in comedy. And I'm just like, this girl's doing great. She's just coming out with some incredible stuff. So, yeah, Hokum, though, that's from the director of KVAT. and Odyssey. Both really good horrors, but apparently they've said Hokum is his most scariest one, which I'm really intrigued why. Although there was a clip in the trailer, which I'm not gonna lie, did almost give me a heart attack. It was like, whoa, okay, yeah, fine. So this one I'm really looking forward to seeing. Obsession is one of my most anticipated ones because I love the idea of this one. I imagine a guy who falls in love with his school friend, and one day he decides to make a wish. Will she fall in love with him? And let's just say that you got to be careful what you wish for, because this wish might be a little bit cursed. And when I saw the execution of what they were going to go for that, I was like, oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. So I'm really excited to see this one. So Obsession comes out, I think, this month as well, because it is May. I keep forgetting it's already May. And the next one is, so what I say, Hokum, Mother Mary, and Backrooms. Backrooms definitely looks like a claustrophobic film, which involves, in fact, I don't even know what the plot is for this one. All I know is it's about a guy in the trailer. It showed a guy walking into a room, and there's all this weird rooms on the other side of a room, and yeah, it just looks like these rooms aren't really supposed to be entered or explored, or maybe you should not be, what's the word? Curiosity killed the cat. It's one of those ones. Curiosity killed the cat. Your curiosity is going to get the best of you. It's not a good idea, as we know. But yeah, Backrooms looks very claustrophobic, and I'm actually really intrigued with that one as well. So those are my most anticipated horrors that are coming out this May. I'm very excited to see those ones. I think out of all of them though, it has to be Obsession, because Obsession, apparently, that they had a very big reaction in American film festivals, where apparently when it was released, a lot of people went, this is going to be like one of those films that people are going to react either in a good way or a bad way. Like, it's going to shock you no matter which way it's going to go. And I'm really intrigued how it's going to execute that way. And luckily, I haven't seen too many trailers or stuff. But the one trailer where the guy's on the phone and he says, can I alter this wish? He's like, what, you want to change your wish? He's like, no, I just wonder if I could alter it a bit. He's like, well, no, you've made the wish, so now you have to stick with that wish. And he's like, yeah, but is it real? And he's like, well, just because you wished for it doesn't make it less real. And it's really like, yeah, it's really sinister. Like, oh, you know, and I'm really excited for that one. So Obsession comes out, I think, later this month. And then, of course, we've got Hokum comes out in 2 days. And then we've got Backrooms, which comes out, I think, much later after that. Yeah, so has any of those films intrigued you on that list as well?
Yeah, I want to see all of them. I didn't know about Mother Mary, and I wanted to see that as soon as possible. I have not watched a lot of horror, because usually that gives me nightmares. so funny enough, that's how I started going to cinema with my friends. I would only go to the cinema to watch horror films, and then I stopped.
Me and my wife, 99% is all horror films.
Oh, horror films.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I should get back to it, because I get a lot of auditions for horror films, because apparently my eyes, I have crazy eyes when I open it.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but
I do have crazy eyes. In the film control set that I said, there is this scene where I started laughing like you know, and it's quite like unsettling. Let's just leave it at unsettling.
Yeah. Unsettling eyes. There you go. Okay, interesting.
Just sometimes.
Yeah. And I know it's interesting because because me and my wife, we always check out horror films. Like, I mean, maybe not all of them, but there are most of where we look and we think, yeah, that one. But like I said, if it's from a certain director who's directed another previous horror film, then we're like, oh, we loved that one, we'll definitely go and check this one out. And luckily, the 3 films that we mentioned, they've all directed something really good. So that's what draws us in. Because if they've directed a good horror film before, what's to say that this one's not going to be even more sinister? And saying that, I mean, my top favourite directors working today, so there's Alex Garland, who did Ex Machina, and Devs, and Men, and Annihilation. We also have Ari Aster, who did Midsummer, Hereditary, and Eddington, and Beau is Afraid, which was another weird one. But my number one favourite director of all time is Stanley Kubrick. Of course, who did The Shining, which is, by the way, my most favourite movie of all time. Clockwork Orange, which, by the way, is my second favourite movie of all time. Also, he done Space Odyssey and Full Metal Jacket. Yeah, the guy was just a living, breathing genius, you know. And when I watched The Shining for the first time, it just blew me away. And I was like, that is a film that I would love to make, something like that. I haven't got to it yet, but I will try.
I hope you didn't watch that movie too young.
I did. I was 17 when I first watched it. In fact, funny enough, years and years ago, I remember when I was a little kid, I actually found the video of it. I didn't watch it, but what happened was, you must remember Blockbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful times, where you could pick up a VHS and take it home and have popcorn and watch a movie every night. God, I do miss those times. Anyway, so yeah, I found the Blockbuster video of The Shining. I just picked it up, and I remember my dad grabbed it off my hands, and he was like, "You never watch this one, never," because apparently he was scared of it.
Make you want it more.
Well, yeah, because as the years went on, I got more intrigued, and then my dad was like, I got scared of it, and I was like, because you know when you're a kid, you don't think anything scares your parents. You don't think that. So I was like, there must be something in that film that's really, really bad to scare your parents. And then what happened was I was at my nan's house, and I was 17, and The Shining came on that night, because I used to go to when I was at my nan's house, I used to pick a film to watch in the evenings and stuff like that, and The Shining was on that night, and I was like, I'm gonna watch that. And I remember texting my dad, and by the way, this was back in 2009, so I was 17, and I texted my dad and went, "Hi Dad, by the way, I'm gonna watch The Shining. I know you told me never to watch it, but I'm gonna do it." And I thought he was going to text me back and say, "Turn it off and don't you dare," or anything. No, he just texted me back and put, "All right, but good luck not having any nightmares." And I thought, oh, okay, so he's giving me his permission. But I watched it, and yes, it did terrify me on some occasions, but it more just blew me away. The look of it, the sounds, the act. I mean, Jack Nicholson in that movie is absolutely terrifying. I mean, he's a lunatic in that film. And I love Shelley Duvall in the film. I think she's done a great job. I mean, most people do kind of criticise that role to, oh, she just cries and screams, but I think she'd done a bang-up job. And I think that's why Kubrick pressured her so much, because he said he wanted to get the best out of her, and I think it worked. I think The Shining was her best performance she ever done in her career. It's like Toni Collette with Hereditary. She should have been nominated, Toni Collette, for Hereditary. It's an insult, because I actually, when I had Twitter back then, I mean, I don't have Twitter now because I hate Twitter, but when I had Twitter back then, and Hereditary was out, I actually tweeted to the Oscars and said, you need to nominate Toni Collette for Hereditary. They didn't do it, so I tweeted to the Oscars and I went, "You're all stupid. You've missed Toni Collette. How dare you? You do not watch many good films then, because you didn't watch Hereditary and didn't nominate Toni Collette." And do you know what was so funny after that? People saw my tweet and they actually said, "Yeah, what's wrong with them? Why didn't they nominate Toni Collette?" So I had a lot of people backing me up on that. But I did say, Oscars, you don't know what you're doing. You should have nominated Toni Collette because that was her best performance in her career. How dare you? You're all idiots. And now, luckily, they do nominate horror films, because we've had The Substance, we had Alien Romulus. Last year, Weapons won an award, which I was so happy about. I mean, I cannot believe Weapons got an award for Best Supporting Actress in a horror film, of all things. It was incredible. And I was like, finally, they're finally looking into the horror genre, because there are so many performances in horror films that make the actors really better than what they are. I mean, even Florence Pugh in Midsommar, my God, she was mesmerising in that film. And I watched her in Midsommar, and I thought, that is honestly one of the best performances she's ever done. Yes, she's done other things as well, and she's incredible. But I've looked and gone, yeah, not as good as Midsommar. Nah, not as good as Midsommar. Sorry, Midsommar still wins. But again, she was overlooked. And I was like, how dare they again not nominate Florence Pugh for Midsommar? The Oscars are idiots. You know, but look, anyway, again, that's just my opinion. I mean, look, you guys can say I'm wrong and whatever, that's fine, but that's just what I believe in. You know, when I see a really good performance, I'm like, they better get nominated for that. I mean, luckily, there are some performances that have I've wanted to be nominated, and they have. For example, Fargo, the TV series. Billy Bob Thornton got nominated for Best Actor, and he won it. And he deserved it. You watched Fargo? High five me, please, because no one has ever watched it. Finally, I found someone who watches Fargo. Oh my goodness! The amount of times I've mentioned Fargo and everyone's going, I haven't watched it. And now I finally found someone who's watched it. Finally! My God, where have you been all my life?
I also watched The Substance, and I thought it was a very, very weird but really well made movie.
Oh, Substance was an
I was
experience.
like, oh, this is very.
My wife
very-
loves that film. She's obsessed with it. She loves it.
I just found it really like, I don't know, like very. It was very strange, but I could not stop watching it.
Yeah, same.
It's-
Yeah. I came out of the cinema though speechless because I was
I
like,
watch it at home. I wish I watched it in a cinema.
oh, do you know what's so funny? I was warned not by people I know, but critics, do not eat while watching it, and I'm so glad I didn't because there were some scenes in there where I almost went, ugh, because I remember what happened was when I was in the cinema and I was with my wife watching the film, we had some guy in front of us having a pizza. He had a pizza while watching the film. And there was a scene where, you remember Dennis Quaid is eating his food in the close-up? That makes me gag, right? I can't watch it. It makes me actually physically
Out
sick.
of the whole movie, that was the
That's
one?
one of them. No, that's one of them. I'm not going to say the others because I can't. But you know the scene where he's eating the food and it's close-up and I can't, I do not like it. It makes me gag, right? I'm like, no. So there was the guy in front of us who was eating the pizza was watching it, and afterwards he looked at his pizza, looked at it, and he literally put it to one side and just went. And then there was a couple sitting next to us, well, not next to us, but a couple of seats away. The wife was just sort of sitting there watching. There was a scene that involves which bit was it? I'm trying to think. Okay, I can't remember which bit, but let's just say the husband was sort of fidgeting quite a bit, like he was getting a bit antsy, didn't like what he was watching at some bits, and the wife kept sort of smacking him, going, "Will you sit still?" And he sort of, and when something come up, he then got up and left to go outside where the toilets were, and I swear I heard him go, ugh. Yeah. The husband couldn't take it, but the wife could. And I remember I was sitting there because the toilet was next to the screen, and we're just outside. And I swear I heard and then afterwards I was laughing because I was going, well, maybe you shouldn't have eaten while watching it then, or whatever. But yeah, loads of people didn't like. They reacted certain ways when they watched it, and it was so funny.
I mean, horror films. I don't know. This is for strong people for sure.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love horror, and there are some films that I've seen. I've even watched some controversial ones. Yeah. And in fact, I think I watched a movie that inspired The Substance. It's called Dumplings. It's a Chinese horror film. And it's really good. It's a very good horror. I mean, to be honest, it's not as bizarre as The Substance. But I think The Substance definitely got inspired because it's about a woman who meets another woman and she wants to feel young again. So this woman makes these certain dumplings to make her feel younger. But let's just say the special ingredient is something I cannot mention live on air, and that's all I'm going to say. But if you do love horror films and you love things that are really bizarre, Dumplings is definitely a horror film I recommend as well. It's a very well made movie. It's very well made, and it's quite a slow burn compared to The Substance. But when you watch it, there are scenes where it goes, yeah, that reminds me of The Substance, and yeah, I think they took that bit, and yeah, so it's definitely a film that maybe the director looked and went, okay, this is one of the ideas I'm going to use. I mean, obviously there were other films. I mean, she definitely references The Shining in The Substance. There's shots that are copied from The Shining. The carpet's copied from The Shining. There's a Silence of the Lambs reference as well in The Substance. Like, there's loads of references that the director took, and it's like, she really is so good at loving cinema. And I love when films do that. It really does make my heart go, that's good. They love The Shining. They love that. I mean, one of them as well, I'm sure you've seen his movies as well. Jordan Peele, he done Get Out and Us and Nope.
I think I saw Get Out. Is it the one
where the guy has to meet the girlfriend's parents and they're the racists?
Oh my god, it's so good.
Such a good movie.
So good.
Do you know what was so interesting with that one as well? I had no idea what the movie was about.
Yeah. That's the thing that I like the most when the films they are so confused that you don't know what's happening until the end. Like,
what I mean is, I didn't watching the trailer. I didn't even know what the movie was about. That's why I didn't.
I tend not to watch trailers. I tend to go in with no information.
Yeah. Well, most of the time I do as well. But we get out, I literally had no clue.
Yeah.
So I said, but everyone was talking about it. So I said to my wife, we need to go and see this Get Out film because everyone's she went, why? I said, because everybody's raving about it. We need to go. She was like, what's it about? I went, I don't know. so I said, let's just go and watch it. So we did. We went one night, we just went, and I came out the cinema smiling. And I went, I love that. And it became my second favourite film of 2017.
It was a very good movie.
It was amazing. Jordan Peele is just a genius. I cannot wait for his next movie. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'll be there because I've loved all three of his films. Nope was incredible. I watched that in the IMAX. Yeah, it's a very, very good movie. Don't watch any trailers, just watch the film. Jordan Peele, he's just a master. I mean, I will say this as well, again, for his love of cinema. Nope was definitely inspired by Jaws. 100%, because Jordan Peele loves Jaws. He's mentioned it many times. And the fact that he kind of took the Jaws system and put it in Nope, it's just gorgeous. And some of the characters do actually reference the Jaws characters. It's really great. I love it. Jaws is actually my fifth favourite movie of all time. I love it. It's my favourite Steven Spielberg. I love it more than Jurassic Park. I love it more than anything else he's done. I just love the movie Jaws. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful film for many reasons. You've never seen Jaws?
I don't think so. Why
Wow.
are you so shocked?
Because I thought you would have bumped into it somewhere.
Maybe I have.
It's everywhere. It's in Netflix, it's on Disney Plus, it's on Now TV. It's everywhere.
I did stop watching horrors for a long time. I think the last horror other than
Jaws
Get Out was
that
like
bad.
Insidious. So it was a long time ago.
Fair enough. I mean, look,
I do have very vivid dreams and very like intense dreams, so that's why
I don't think Jaws would.
No,
Jaws. Compared to it's quite tame compared to Insidious and the films we watch today. I mean, to be honest, what makes that movie amazing is like the suspense of the shark. We don't actually see most of the shark until near the end of the film, and it's more of a human film. It's more of a human movie than a shark film. And that's what people are missing. So when they make shark horror films, by the way, if you saw Thrash on Netflix, ew, hated that film. Anyway, moving on. But Jaws, right? It's special because it's not really a shark horror film. It's more of a human movie. It's about personality and what we're going to do to take the next steps to take over a problem and stuff like that. And you've got these three guys who have different opinions about the shark and what they want to do with it and stuff like that. Because near the third half of the film, it's just about the three guys on the boat chasing the shark, and that's really the best part of the movie. And they all have different ways of trying to figure out how we're going to get this shark, what we're going to do if we do get the shark. Do you think we can get this shark? Are we going to succeed or not? It's very... Steven Spielberg was really trying to put on the debate of these three characters, and the three guys have the best personalities in the film. Their chemistry is incredible, and they work so well together. It's perfect casting, and that's what makes the movie. And there's a really special moment involving one of the characters where he talks about a certain story involving in the past where he was shark hunting and stuff like that, and there was an incident that happened. And it's a really beautiful human moment. So even though Jaws now back then was, it's a terrifying shark film. Yes, back in the 70s, it was a terrifying shark film. But nowadays, it's just a very human film that involves three men. And yes, there is a deadly shark.
And you mentioned about casting as well. And I'm so happy for all the casting directors out there that are now finally being recognized.
Yes.
So I just wanted to say that when you said that, it's so important.
Exactly.
Right.
I am very good at promoting directors here, like especially the indie ones, like Ari Aster and Alex Garland. I mean, look, we all know Steven Spielberg and Stanley Kubrick. Like, we know those guys, and we know they're doing well. But with the indie filmmakers, who I really love to support, Ari Aster is very underrated. Even though he's done some really good movies, he's still underrated.
Oh, I meant the casting directors.
Oh, casting directors.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said cast and directors.
Because you said that the cast was really good. Like the casting was really good.
It is, yeah.
And that is so important.
Oh, casting,
casting. And now they've finally been recognized.
I do apologise that I misunderstood there.
No, don't worry.
Because I thought you said cast and directors.
No,
No, I got you now. I got you now. Yes. Maybe I'm just getting deaf. Who knows? Anyway. Anyway, moving on. What's that, Sonny? Anyway, so yeah, I'm just saying, like, so if you haven't seen Jaws, yes, you should definitely give it a go. It's my 5th favourite, but I will tell you another movie that I love, which, and if you haven't seen it, it won't surprise me, so don't worry, I'm not going to get offended, because every time I mention this film, no, I haven't seen it. But it's a very beautiful, underrated film. It's my 4th favourite movie of all time. It's called Thoroughbreds, and it stars Anna Taylor-Joy and Olivia Cooke, who, in my opinion, are the best actresses working today. I love Anna Taylor-Joy and I love Olivia Cooke. They both work so well together. Talk about casting, them two have amazing chemistry, and they should do another film together. They need to do something else together, because putting them two together, there's this dynamic that you feel between them two, and it's really good. By the way, Thoroughbreds is one of my most inspirational films of all time. Some of the scripts I've written is because of Thoroughbreds, and I want to make a Thoroughbreds type movie. I need to get that out of the way. Whether it's budget or no budget, I'm going to make that film. So I am trying my best here, and I will get it made. Anyway, but Thoroughbreds is a film about 2 girls. One of them lives in a big house with her rich stepdad and her mum, and Olivia Cooke plays the friend of Anna Taylor-Joy, who's not so very rich. But what I love about these roles is Olivia Cooke's role in this. Again, she should have been nominated, just saying. Basically, she plays a friend who has this very unique look on the world. And Anna Taylor's like the sensible one. But what happens is, one day, Olivia Cooke discovers that Anna Taylor-Joy's stepdad is not a very nice guy. And so she's like, why don't we just kill him one day? And that's the story. They try to plot to get rid of him, and that's the story. And it's absolutely darkly funny. It's brilliantly dark. It's funny. The cinematography in it as well is gorgeous. There's this one shot that I'm trying to steal, right? There's a shot where they go into the house, and the shot is the front door of the inside, and the 2 girls walk towards the camera, and they both go their different ways, and you've got the main character in the background in the center. I need to steal that shot because it is one of the most gorgeous shots ever. I need to steal that shot one day. So one day when I make my Thoroughbreds film, I am going to take that shot. So I'm dying to get that shot made. That is how desperate I am to make that film.
Nice. I'm sure you will make it though.
Oh, I'm going to make it. It's not that I'm sure, I am going to make it. I just need to find, 2 really good supporting actresses to play these very dark roles and the story. And like I said, hopefully there's no, none of this, none of that stuff that I mentioned. But I'm not trying to keep negativity. I'm trying to be positive here because this is a positive show. But at the same time, guys, I've got to be honest, because look, we all know the industry has its moments and whatever. But at the end of the day, film is art, and it is what it is, and that's all I'm trying to do, is make some art, okay? But if people don't want to do that art, it's fine. At the end of the day, we're all uniquely different in how we execute things, how we make things, and of course, stuff is not for everybody. I mean, I'm sure there were people that saw a Stanley Kubrick film and was like, do you know what, I don't want to be in a Stanley Kubrick film. And there were some people that probably didn't want to be in a Steven Spielberg film because they were like, oh, I don't like aliens or whatever, it happens. So, it's fine. And that's what I'm saying, like, it's art. And not art is not for everybody, but at the end of the day, that's all I'm trying to make. And that's all I want to do.
You should do it.
And I will carry on doing it. 21 years, and I'm still going for it. By the way, guys, speaking of that, just again, I need to bring up another recap announcement. I didn't bring it up last week because I was speaking to Ben Whitehead so much, but I'm going to bring it up today. So don't forget, on the 2nd of October, you guys definitely need to tune in, because that day will be my 100th show of Manigan's Movie Music. And not only that, 2nd of October is my filmmaking anniversary date. So imagine that, my 100th show on my 21st filmmaking anniversary day. It's such a weird coincidence. Thank you. That very tiny quiet applause. But yes, and I am trying to round up some guests for that show. There will definitely probably be some past guests that are joining me, but we'll see what happens. But I am desperate to make a big celebrational show that day. So, and to think, now it's May, So June, July, August, September, October. So 5 months from tomorrow, that show's going to happen. That's insane. Already 5 months. It does. It really does. But I tell you what a year so far it's been in terms of this show. Again, guys, I cannot thank you enough for all the listeners who tuned in so much who tuned in for Gigi Bella, Eliana Reyes, Ella May Demican, and of course Ben Whitehead. Those have become my highest rated shows so far. And it's always amazing, like we said, that someone who is famous will take that time to come on this teeny tiny show and promote themselves or just want to come and talk to me and stuff. It really honestly means a lot that they've done that. And it shows, as you said, there are good people out there who would love to come and help you. And it's also not just that, it's anybody who comes on this show, like you. And we had Vicky, who was on a few weeks ago, by the way, who listeners absolutely loved. They loved Vicky. I mean, I'm sure she'll definitely come back in the future. But yeah, anybody who comes on, it always means a lot. And time is precious. So anyone who gives me their time, it honestly means a lot that you guys come and do that. So again, I cannot thank everybody enough who does this. And I'm very excited to do the 100th show. I am making plans. I'm going to try and make it very, very different from the usual routine that I normally do. So we'll see what happens. So definitely tune in on that, guys. 2nd of October. 2nd of October. So don't forget that. And the thing, that day last year, I premiered The Bucket, which was such a great event. And the film was on my YouTube channel, guys, if you want to check it out. So Reese M92 is the YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe. And saying that, guys, I just want to update you as well. I've got some film festival projects that I am working on. I'm going to be filming a very special film called Broadcaster Brighton in July. And that one I've set up and sorted out, and hopefully it gets made. I am super excited about getting that one done because not only is it a very close related film, close to my heart because it's about a radio presenter, it's also going to have like different locations and some really big scenes coming up to really make a very fun short film. So yeah, I'm very buzzed about that. I'm so excited. And yeah, so that's what I'm working on at the moment. Also, guys, my next film festival project I'm aiming to do is Bubblegum, which is a film that I'm desperately excited to make about the two girls who find a live man in their suitcase after a night of heavy drinking. How on earth did he get there? And how on earth did he end up in that suitcase? Well, we'll have to find out when the film gets made.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. That's my content for the day. There you go. That's my content, and that's what's coming up.
A lot of things coming up.
Exactly. And then, do you know what the funny thing is? I don't like to stop working on ideas. It scares me. Like, if I'm working on a series or like short film or something, I'm like, I need to do something while doing that, or I need to find something while after I do this. It terrifies me. I have to keep working. Like, I have to find a film. I can't imagine one of the days where I'll go, I can't make a film this year. Why? Because I've actually got nothing left to make. It's like, what? Honestly, people will think I will seriously be ill because they like, Reece, you're full of ideas. There must be something. So I will desperately carry on working, you know. I mean, have you ever had that fear where you got to keep working?
Yeah, but that's why I think I started producing as well, because I wanted to create my own opportunities. So I feel like whenever I feel like I don't have inspiration, is probably just because I stopped doing it for a while. So I like to keep going.
Yes.
I like to keep creating, even if it's just reading a play or like doing a scene with a friend or just something, and training as well. For me, I'm training right now with Ivana Chabok with Chris, which is a method in LA. And I am learning so much from it as well. So training, keeping active, and just like, I love writing as well.
Yeah, same.
But I don't want to focus on writing. I prefer to collaborate with other writers most of the time. It's also the process of writing is much more fun when you do it in like a room with people.
I actually like to write.
yourself.
I actually like to write alone.
Yeah.
I'm
You
very.
like to write alone. I prefer to
I
write
have to write
and
alone.
bounce ideas and like work out jokes together. I feel like I find the process of writing and devising a lot more fun than by myself.
What you say that because when I do filming, I do a lot. There's always times where we do ad libbing a lot of ad libbing. Like for example, like I did a it's YouTube series called Archie and Jim about these two idiots who get themselves in some capers, and me and my best mate Charlie used to ad lib a lot of jokes. There was one joke where we ad libbed. It's such a stupid one, but I just love it because it's just how stupid these guys are. So there's a bit where he says, it wasn't in the script, but he goes to me, right, we're going to get this emu, you go east and I'll go west. And then I ad lib and said, what about north and south? And he just went, nah, they're no use to me. And it just made me laugh because it just wasn't in the script. And it was just how he says, I don't need north and south, I just need east and west. And I don't know why, but it just tickled me. And I thought, I love it. And it was also a really funny joke where I made him laugh. Because, by the way, my best mate is very hard to make laugh. So when I make him laugh, it's gold. There's a scene in an episode where Archie and Jim go camping and they bump into this hunter who tries to go after them. And Jim puts on a woman's voice to pretend he's the hunter's wife, and the hunter believes it. And then when Jim comes out to reveal himself, because he's an idiot, the hunter actually sees and goes, wait a minute, I don't have a wife. So it goes on for ages, and then when he reveals himself, he's like, hang on, I don't have a wife. And my mate loved that joke. He was gone. He fell off his chair laughing because he was like, why did he carry on talking to her if he didn't know he had a wife? Even though there's no wife.
I think it's even funny when you try to explain the joke.
Oh, I love it. It was brilliant. It was just the funniest thing ever. It was great. We had a good time laughing at that. Yeah, great memories. Right, unfortunately, we've only now got 50 seconds left. So, Jennifer, it's been lovely to have you on. You've been a fantastic guest.
Honestly, my pleasure. I love chatting. So anytime where I can talk to people.
Well, you are more than welcome to come back, definitely. 100%. So, yeah, absolutely. The door is open for you to come back. I've really loved having you on. It's been really lovely to meet you.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate your time and appreciate you coming here. So, yeah, just thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, so that is today's show. Next week, I should be having another guest, but I will update you just in case anything else happens. But next week, I should be reviewing Hokum or Mother Mary. I'm going to decide. I'll have to have a look and see which one makes the impact. Okay, guys, take care. Have a good week. Enjoy the sunshine. And as I say every time, that is a wrap.